classic CR250. Easy win last time, mate, easy win.
Get too old.
Get ready to go out for their last race of the day. It's been Brad Tomlin, number 33 there in the middle, who's been the guy to catch all day. I think he's been pretty much unstoppable. I really love your classic Evos and your Super Evos, a mix of pre-1990 and a pre, let's say, 2005. Some really great old machines out here. Classic Mako there. Evo class lining up. As I said before, it's a mixture of your Evos and your Super Evos. All of those 3 bikes there will be classed as Super Evos because they're post 1990. The bikes that obviously my era, I sort of finished around 94, me busted back. I was on a 91, we had 92 spec CR125. It had the plastics of the Honda then, they went sort of almost fluorescent. And I managed to get some that would stick onto the 91 machine, which was a bit difficult because it had a slightly different setup. Then you had the Kawasaki's, likes of Kevin Seaton were racing them back in the day. A lot of these bikes in value are worth a lot more than your modern bikes nowadays. But obviously it takes a heck of a lot to keep them going. Sourcing parts, sometimes they might have to source parts from the States. Time for a quick loo break by the looks of it. Looks like a 97 250, not 97, 1987 250. Classic Twinshock. First thoughts that was a maker, but it's actually a Red Rocket. I'd say possibly anywhere from 77 to 79 for that. Sort of Graham Noyce era, Malherbe when he was in his younger years. What I really didn't like with the Kawasaki is that the water cooled system, you had the fender on the one side of it. It just felt weird, so I never got one. Always stuck with a Honda. There's your classic Mako. It's as much the sound as anything else. The classic roar of the 2-stroke engine. Sometimes you get that faint whiff of Castrol in amongst the mix, and it's like a fine perfume to any of us who raced back in the day. Possibly a 89 CR there.
Make your way down to the start line, please. Down into the Evo to the start line, please. Thank you.
Classic Mako there, possibly an Alpha 1. Twinshock suspension, and obviously air cooled back in the day, and drum brakes. A lot of things have changed over the years. This just shows you how much bikes have changed over the year, from drum brakes, air cooled, to your fully water cooled disc brakes all round, and probably a thumper now as well. burn now. Pretty much untouchable today, getting ready for his last race. Set himself up ready for Farley. He's been smooth, he's been comfortable. I don't think he's had any real ill effects from his nasty shoulder injury, so it's looking good. Cool as you like, Simon West there, even rocking a set of sunglasses. You can't get much cooler. There's your classic Mako over there. Old Red Rocket. That'll be maybe, let's see, 78, 79, even 77. That's sort of your early Malherbe and Graham Noyce era. Having his own little mini battle there. Classic Kawasaki, classic Yamaha, Chesterfield colours. All the thing back in the 90s. CR followed by Mako, followed by another CR. That looks like an 86 CR. Christ, the age of these bikes now does make you feel old. But they're still going. Must be terribly difficult to get the parts for nowadays. Gold thumper right there. That looks like a bike from possibly the 70s. Husqvarna. Air cooled Quacker having a bit of trouble over there. The leader comes around, lapping the back markers already. Here comes Byrne, really styling that CR. Riders get themselves ready. It's classic Twinshock Evo, Super Evo class. Expect Paul Byrne to go out of that gate like a bullet. Your classic peak Splitfire Honda Jeremy McGrath replica, although that is a 500 by looks of it. Comes Byrne, second place at the moment. These bikes I remember so fondly. Here's a classic Mako coming round. Back when I was racing, I was just talking around the handle earlier. We had to contend with drum brakes upside down forks were a thing that weren't even a part of racing then. That there, CR125, I raced one of those in the schoolboys. A plethora of classic Huskies there for the Evos. When I think back in the day when I was racing, they class your classic racing as you like your BSAs from the 65s and earlier. Classic Mako. These are your Twinshock, your Evos and your Super Evos. Paul Byrne looking very tidy there. He's already won his last race. Going out there pretty much to show off. If you want to see some proper racing, look at the vets at Farley. Paul had a right bar banger with, I think it was Gary Hoptroff. The smell really is intoxicating. I can smell a few of the old Castrollar out there. It gets to you every time. Like a sweet essence. Of course, a lot better than back in the day, the old smell of the cow pack that used to hit you. Classic 80 CR 250. Looks like an 87. Could be 87, could be 86. Pretty much only tell by the seats on them nowadays. Comes another classic Mako. To the Evolution, we went from Twinshock, which is one of those, drum brakes, air cooled, to the next level, which was disc brakes, water cooled, the old KTM. Simon West on his Yamaha. That's a classic old bike. We said before, American spec, called Whacker, Twinshock. Sort of thing that Falk used to race in his early days.